Stand at the end of your mat. Press the feet through the floor, feeling that heel, big toe, little toe, push into the floor. Find that even pressure, pushing through both sides nice and even. Inhale, swoop the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk those hands out all the way into your plank. Find that strength in the plank, pushing the arms through the floor, bracing those deep core muscles in all directions. Strong through the legs, front and back. Shift those hips back into downward dog, pushing the heels towards the floor. Step your feet close together. Bend the knees. Look to the hands. Step or jump those feet to the hands. Stand tall, reaching those fingertips up towards the ceiling again. Good. We're going to warm up that body with our lunges. So we're going to back lunge, alternating with the legs, lifting the arms as you go into that lunge, checking that we're not arching through the back. Thinking about those feet staying in 2 railroad tracks so that when we step back, we can keep our balance. Nice and steady. Just find that pace that feels comfortable for you. Good. Pause in that standing position. Once you're evened out, keep those fingertips reaching up towards the sky. Fold forward. Step back into that plank. Holding again, nice and strong. Feeling all those muscles working to hold you in that straight line. Shift the hips back. Feet are close together. Bend the knees, look to the hands, and step or jump those feet to the hands. Stand tall. Good. Step it back into those lunges again. Reach it back. Reach the arms up to stand tall. Feel that whole foot push through the floor. Should be feeling your body temperature rising.
You wanna know what I'm into? We can start with a blindfold. You know the love goes deep, baby. Tell me what you in for. I'm over the hill and under the brakes. Over the pain and
Good. Even out. Meet me in that standing position. Fingertips reaching towards the ceiling, both feet pressing, fold forward. Bend those knees and step back into that plank. Sink back into that downward dog. Heels pressing towards the center. We're going to go into our balance work. So take that right foot closer to the middle, left leg reaches up into 3-legged downward dog. Pressing that right foot through the floor and reaching the left toes towards the ceiling. Drive that left leg under, step through, and come into your warrior one. Find that strength. Once you're balanced and steady, find a point that's not moving and shift into your airplane. If you need a little bit of extra space, maybe step it back. Arms reach forward, that right leg reaches back. Squeeze the glute on that right leg. Next inhale, roll all the way up, driving that back leg up to hug the knee and continue to hold, finding that balance. Step that right foot down, again, coming back to that even pressure. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, forward fold. Find that plank, step it back. Pause, checking in that you've got all those pieces together to make that plank perfect, and then shift the hips. Pressing those heels towards the floor. Move that left foot closer to the center. Reach the right leg long. This time, left leg is reaching towards the floor. Right leg is reaching up in that 3-legged dog. Drive that right leg under. Step through. Find that warrior one. Find your balance. Once you're balanced, Pivot into that airplane pose, balancing on that right leg, reaching those arms in front. Back leg is long, squeezing the glute on that back leg.
Tell me how that goes. Like, what did you ask for? And what did you
Taking your attention to every muscle in your body.
love again? Well, this couldn't last, so struggle, hustle, we need to fight. Make up to
Next, inhale, stand tall, bringing that left knee up with you to hug the left knee. Stay in that balance. Check that your shoulders are down away from your ears, and you're still looking at that same spot that's not moving, just listening for my cues versus watching me. Set that left foot down. Again, ground through both feet. Inhale, reaching those fingertips up. Press the hips back. Set the hands towards the floor. Bend the knees when you need to, and then step it out into your plank. Shift those knees towards the floor and hips back. Child's pose. Take some breaths here. Reaching your fingertips and your hips in opposite directions. Good, roll it up. Cat-cow, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale to look up, arching the back. Exhale to round. Flow at your own pace. Relax those feet. Remember that we just want to move through a range of motion that feels comfortable, not trying to make it as big as possible or feel an extreme stretch. We're just gently moving through the spine. Walk those hands out after you're even. Find that modified push-up position. Find a nice rhythm with your push-ups. Make sure that the hips aren't up. Squeeze the glutes, tuck that pelvis under. If full push-ups feel good today, go for it. Pushing those arms through the floor, holding that core strong. Shift the hips back, sink into that child's pose. Take those breaths. Roll it all the way up into that tall kneeling position. Step that right foot out so we're half kneeling. Squeeze the glutes on the left side. Lift that left arm up. Find that nice psoas stretch. From here, now that you've got that stretch, curl that back toe under and push up. We're going to do stationary lunges from the split stance position. So we're going to come up. Maybe you have to step that back foot a little bit more. Reach the arms up, pull it back, squeeze the back muscles. Inhale, palms face in. Exhale, push those palms back. We can have even pressure through both legs for this, or you can shift more weight into the front leg. Last one. Drop it all the way down, switch sides. First, holding that half kneeling position. So left leg steps up, right knee should be down on the floor. Squeeze that glute, push the right hip forward and reach that right arm up. Take those nice big deep breaths. Good, curl that back toe under. Bring those arms up. Reach out as you lower, pull back as you stand. Just dropping that back knee towards the floor. Last one. Drop it down. Kneeling position, bring it back to those push-ups. Curl the hips. Pull those shoulders down away from the ears. And just find that rhythm for your push-ups. Good, shift those hips back when you're ready. Find that child's pose again and catch your breath. Good, we're gonna continue to work those shoulders and that core. Roll it back into that modified push-up. Curl the toes under, find that plank, and start with those slow mountain climbers. You got it, 4 more. Shift those hips back into downward dog. Press the heels towards the floor. Take that breather. Bend at the knees. Look to the hands. Step or jump your feet to your hands. Pushing through both legs nice and even. Come up tall. And we're gonna step out into our wide angle pose here and go into plies. So I'd like you to have hands at the center. Point those knees out to match the toes. Sink down and up. Good, we've got 5 more. Good, we're gonna hold it at the bottom. If pulsing feels good, you can have that little bit of a pulse, but keep pushing through that whole foot, keeping that torso long and tall. Make sure we're not dumping into the spine. Thinking about your tailbone pointing towards the floor and everything lifting opposite directions. Good, push through those legs, stand tall, turn the toes forward, fold, letting those fingertips come towards the floor. Nice deep breaths here.
My heart's been ripped wide open. So many mixed emotions.
Good, use those legs to come up, shifting, pulling from the back of the legs, not from the spine. Turn that toe forward in both directions. Come down into your lunge, find that plank, and we go back to that climber. So nice and slow, driving that knee under the body, keeping the core nice and strong. You got it, 5 more. Good, shift those hips back. Downward dog, pushing the heels towards the floor. Take an inhale and exhale. On that next inhale, bend those knees, look to the hands, and step or jump your feet back to the hands. Even through both legs to stand up tall. We got 1 more time for that plie. Step it out. Knees and toes pointing opposite directions, up and down on the plie. Keep using those hips to point the knees out. Continue to find that tailbone pointing towards the floor, that length through the spine. Good, we got 3 more. We're gonna hold it. That's 2. Last one, sink down, hold it at the bottom. Even through both legs. Good, we've got 5 more seconds. Stand it up tall. Pivot back into that lunge position. All the way back down into that plank. Shift the knees towards the floor. Sink back into that child's pose. We're trying to balance out that intensity with rest intervals. Roll it up, all 4s, and then shift your body around to roll onto your back. We're gonna go into our bridges. Tilt your pelvis so that you feel your hips turn, your lower back press on the floor. Try to bring your ribs down, Take a big inhale through your nose, and then as you exhale through your mouth, feel those deep core muscles turn on even more. Peel your hips off the floor and hold. If you've got this and you feel strong, see if you can extend that one leg just by straightening the knee, not by kicking up high, and then the other without letting those hips fall. If that feels too tough, continue to hold that bridge and skip the kicks. And we're going to do one more on each leg. Roll those hips down towards the floor. Lift the shoulders off the floor. Feel those ribs come further down. Tighten up that deep core. Lift the legs. Bring the arms up. Either straighten out by your ears or interlace them and hold your head with your fingers. We're going to drop that single leg slowly. You can hear the quiver in my voice. These are hard. Continue to just imagine that your head is being held in a hammock, and that hammock is your hands. Keeping that pelvis tilted so that when you drop the legs, you're not arching and bending through your back. You're maintaining that same position. We've got 4 more. Good. Roll that head back, hugging those knees, rock side to side, gently massaging the spine. Good, bring it back to center. Lower those feet to the floor. We go back to our bridge. Really carefully setting ourselves up. Pelvis is tilted. Ribs are down. Take that big inhale through your nose. Exhale out, letting all that air out, further contracting that core. Then peel the hips off. Hold that bridge first. Then if it feels okay, adding in those kicks. Really trying not to let those hips drop. So if you can tell that every time you lift off, that hip is dropping side to side, you need to focus on just that regular bridge and just keep evenly pushing through both legs. If it's just a matter of focus and you can get it, then come back to those kicks. But you've got to really push through that leg that stays on the floor. Keep that core nice and strong. Keep holding. Bring it back to that bridge if you need to. You don't have to do the kicks the whole time. One more on each leg. Good. Lower it down. Bring those knees up. They hover right over your hips. Calves are parallel to the floor. We're coming back to that core. Arms reach up and shoulders lift off. Drop those legs, single legs. Take those fingertips, interlace them behind your head, supporting your head so that your neck doesn't have to do all the work. Just nice and slow and steady. There is no need for speed on abs. Keep that breathing nice and fluid. Good. One more each leg. Hugging those knees. Lower that head to the floor. Massage the spine, rocking side to side. Good. Bring it back to center. Roll your body over so that you're back onto your stomach. Finding that all fours position. We're going to continue to work that core, but we're going to add in some legs. So hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Lift those knees and come into that bear crawl hold. Pushing the arms through the floor. Knees stay hovering, but you keep lifting and pulling in that core in all directions. One more inhale and exhale, and then shift yourself into that downward dog. Push the heels towards the floor. Walk those hands out if you feel like you're a little bit too close. Good, bring those feet close together. Bend the knees. Step or jump your feet to your hands. We're gonna sink into that chair position. So sink down, arms up, hips down. Find that pulse. Even through both legs. Whole foot's pushing through the floor. Really try not to overarch through the back. So keep that pelvis tucked just a little bit. Push through both legs. Stand tall, keeping those arms reaching up. Exhale, arms come down as you forward fold. Step it back into that plank. Then drop the knees. Find those knees under hips, hands under shoulders. We go back to that bear crawl. Curl the toes under, lift the knees, hold that bear crawl position. I want you to think about pulling in that deep core, pressing through the arms, but not over engaging those upper back muscles. Breathe while you hold. Good, next inhale, shift back into that downward dog. Feet together. Look to the hands, bend the knees, step or jump those feet to the hands. Chair pose one more time. Stand all the way up tall. Scooch those feet close together if they've become separated, and then sink down, hips down, pulse. Good, we are almost there. Next inhale, push those legs up, reach the arms up. Bring the arms back and interlace those fingertips behind you, open up through the shoulders. Bring those arms all the way up and down. Slide them down through the center. Namaste. Hope you feel energized and ready to take on your day.